I was concerned at first about what Ultraman Gaia was going to be like. And that was because I didn't care for Dinah too much. And then I saw the movie where there was a crossover. And I liked Gamu so much that I jumped into the show, stopping the other show I was watching. And this is now my favorite Ultraman show that I've seen. Granted, I've only seen 7 of them, so that's not that many considering there's, I don't know, 30 of them. So I still have a lot to go. But Ultraman Gaia is the best Ultraman series that I've watched, hands down. Um, it had the best storytelling, and that's what really meant the most. Yeah, they reused monsters several times, but the plot to the show was the best that I had seen in any of this, and it was absolutely incredible. That being said, I didn't expect it to go that hard towards the end. I actually binged the last 4 episodes straight. Uh, when I probably should have been sleeping, I was in bed and I was watching it. Thankfully, I didn't wake anybody up, namely my wife. Um, but yeah, it was good. Um, so you had Gamu when he got his power up. The second half of the season started off a little slow. Then, as soon as Fujima came back into the picture, things started to escalate, and then it just got even crazier. So it turns out the giant monster that was coming through was not the radical destruction bringer. It just seems to have been another monster that the radical destruction bringer wanted to send to destroy the Earth. It turns out that they thought the radical destruction bringer thought that humans were um, like a insect that was going to destroy the universe, mainly because of how they would kill things to extinction. So he kept making other monsters or other things from other worlds and pulling them into ours. And when the radical destruction bringer finally showed up in the final couple episodes, it comes in looking like an angel and curb stomps the two of them, Agul and Gaia. And then the Earth monsters come out, and so when the Radical Destruction Bringer showed up, it brought locusts that were blocking out the sun and attacking people, and they would combine together to become big monsters. So then in the story there were a bunch of monsters that were born in the earth and they came out, and in the last couple episodes they wound up coming out to protect the earth, and it was incredible because with Ultraman Gaia and Ultraman Agul losing to the Radical Destruction Bringer, they had lost their power. They could not transform again. And so the humans figured out, well, what if we use the energy from the Earth monsters to repower them? And it was just, man. Then when it revealed exactly what the Radical Destruction Bringer actually looked like, it was the whole, like, it kind of had like Lucifer motifs, because you thought it was this beautiful angel, but it's this horrifying beast that was gigantic. It was the biggest monster in the series, hands down. Um, then you also had the music, which was absolutely incredible. This show had probably the best soundtrack that I've seen in any series of Ultraman. Um, and it was intense. It was great, and it had some amazing build up, and some of the various monsters that popped in. Like, I've got pictures, which you'll see above, of all the different Earth monsters that showed up during the finale, and just, I mean, the build up for this and the plot. I mean, I can't stop praising it. This was one of the best series that I've seen in a long time, and I think it's the perfect one to start with. If you've never watched any Ultraman, Ultraman Gaia is a perfect place to start because it's its own contained universe. It's not connected to Tiga or Dyna or any of the previous ones. And it hits hard. The story just keeps building up, uh, just building up and up and up and up, and it's just fire. And yeah, probably one of the worst things was the use of CG because this is the 90s, and the 90s CG looks really, really bad. But the suitmation is really good. A lot of the monsters looked really, really, really good. And even with them reusing some of the monsters several times, it's actually part of the plot. And it isn't just simply, oh, we're going to have the same monster for no reason. It's like, no. They actually gave them reasons why they would show up. They gave them slightly different powers. And the episodes where, like, the jellyfish monster kept coming in, they were all really good. Then you had, like, the first monsters who showed up. Then they get a power up version later on, which is also explained why that happened. Um, and I mean, it had some of the best human characters. Um, the commander, he found out who Gamu was very early on, and it really made the second half of the season like really interesting. And I mean, I loved it. I loved this show.